but it's frozen. I've never put a frozen piece of meat on a grill in my entire life. I don't know. I'm kind of weirded out by this. And now that I hear you say, "Oh, it should have been screaming hot," I really don't know. I don't want to mess this up, but I have a feeling by playing around with this, we're gonna find a sweet spot, and it's gonna be incredible no matter what. What up, PITMASTERX? How we doing today, brother?
Awesome, brother. This is fantastic. We're actually going live at the same time for the first time on Instagram, on your Instagram account, and our new Instagram account as well, the Fired Up BBQ Podcast Instagram account.
That's right, folks. So we are, we're in episode 8 right now. We've shot 7 episodes. You can find those on YouTube, Spotify, and what's the other one?
YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, and iTunes.
iTunes, that's the one I was missing. So check out all those episodes. We've had some fun guests. We've had some amazing times, a lot of laughs, a lot of tears. Let me roll through an intro real quick. So those of you who don't know, it's my distinct privilege to introduce the Sultan of Smoke, YouTube phenomenon, my good friend, PITMASTERX. PITMASTERX, how are you, sir?
Oh, thank you very much. The honor is all mine. Let me introduce to you Chef Eric Gebhardt, the culinary wizard, the culinary director of Kamado Joe, and the amazing all-round guy, E-Money. The one and only.
So, brother, it's been a crazy week here in North Carolina. We've got a tropical storm off the coast. A lot of stuff to talk about barbecue-wise, family-wise. Still in quarantine here. What has been going on in your neck of the woods? You're in the Netherlands. Tell us what's happening, bro. How's the barbecue barn coming along? How's everything?
Oh, yeah, the barbecue barn is getting along real nicely. I'm still waiting for my roof, though. We got a lot of timber framing up. The back of the side walls are coming up. A lot of masonry work has to be done, but it's getting to the point where you're so close to see that it's finished. It just can't wait, but it's going to take probably another 2 to 3 weeks for the roof tiles to go on, and it's all exciting. I'm super pumped. It's looking amazing already, but it's going to be even better. So, yeah, I worked so long and so hard to make it happen, and now it's finally here. So that's freaking awesome.
Love
but
it.
the weather's been great, and we're cooking, and cooking wise, it's fantastic.
What have you been cooking?
I did an Iberico pork shoulder.
Beauty.
And it blew my mind. So what really bumped me is like it was so good and it was so tender, and the fat it's completely different from other pork. So, and now that I did it low and slow, it kind of became really light. So normally when you eat a chunk of fat, it's really heavy and you feel like, whoa, I can't handle that. And with Iberico, of course, you get a lot of fat, but it was so light and so fluffy, it was mind-blowing. So I thought, wow, can you imagine using this for a barbecue competition? But probably you have to use a bust and butt for that, and you cannot get the size of chunks out of it that you want to.
The Iberico is interesting. It's one of those. I mean, it's one of the oldest pigs, right? And I saw you did it hoof on, didn't you?
Yeah, it was hoof on. Yeah, the hoof was still on. Cool,
for me, very cool. Like as cool as it can get. And a lot of times they've got that black hoof. I've read about this. I absolutely love it. I am unfortunately one of the 5% that when you taste that fat, it tastes soapy. And some people get this with cilantro. It's not that I don't want to enjoy it. I know the quality. I know the story. It's the top pork on earth. But when I taste it, I taste freaking soap, man. And I cannot get past it. It's not something that I want to do. But I taste it, I get soapy. I'm really excited. Some neighbors of mine got the furry pigs. You seen the Mangalistas? Mangalitas?
Yeah, Mangalitsa, yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
So we've got some of those here in Hillsborough, North Carolina, a local farm. I'm hoping when these things come to maturity, or they have piglets, and those piglets come to maturity, which is, I don't know what, 6 months, it happens pretty quickly, that I don't get the same soapy flavor. And it's something to do with my taste bud. It's not the fat content, because you cherish the fat content.
If you get it with Iberico, you get it with Mangalitsa.
Don't ruin this for me. Don't ruin this.
No. But let me put it this way: if you have like a pork which been raised well, like a heritage pig, and you get that soapy flavor, it's still completely different from the Iberico and Mangalitsa. Iberico and Mangalitsa are completely different pork experience compared to any type of heritage pork that you know of.
Yeah.
It's so I'm hoping for you that you don't get that experience, that soapy experience.
That's better, because you just point blank told me if I get it from Iberico, I'm going to get it from Mangalitsa. But I'm with you. It's completely different. And that Mangalitsa, it's red. It almost looks like beef. And people drive by herds of them and think that they're looking at sheep because they're so darn woolly. If you don't know about this pig, folks, look it up online. Mangalitsa. And if you want to see that Iberico that I saw PITMASTERX cooking on there, look at his YouTube channel. That video, I've been seeing it on your stories. I can't wait to see the whole video. That's good stuff.
Oh, yeah. It's really, really good. But I have one question for you, and you need to help me with this, because I also did a video on deep fried pork, pulled pork.
Deep fried pulled pork? Is that a thing?
Yeah, and I got a lot of comments. No, it's like the first thing that I thought it was like, well, nobody does that. So I thought, okay, let's give it a try, do deep fried pulled pork. And you know croquettes, right?
Yeah, of course.
Like, yeah. And I thought, I'm going to make a burger out of it. So basically, I want to improve the pulled pork sandwich by making a pulled pork croquette in between a sandwich. But I wanted to try deep fried pulled pork first, and it came out super, super crunchy. So it was kind of like the ultimate topping, like having fried onion on top of your burger. But then better. But the thing is, like, when the video was finished and a lot of people watching said, well, you basically made carnitas. So you got to help me there. What is carnitas? Because I never had it firsthand. So what is carnitas?
Carnitas does have a great, Carnitas does have a great textural contrast, and it is fried pork. Okay, it's not it's not like the Japanese fried pork. I've never seen carnitas done where it's completely shredded. I generally see little chunks that are fried up, but you've generally treated them to a low and slow temperature and then cranked it up a little bit. And it's, I absolutely love it, but it doesn't have to have that crunch. It's not deep fried by any means. So I think what you've done is probably something completely different and something completely new, which I don't put past you because that's kind of your game and your MO. How was the final product? Did you put it in between bread, or did you just try it by itself?
So I did like 2 stages. I made a pulled pork sandwich first. Then I deep fried it and made a pulled pork deep fried sandwich out of it. And the final stage was putting it in a roux with herbs, barbecue herbs. So
a roux?
The pulled pork in a roux. Yeah.
Flour and butter, flour and oil?
Flour, butter, and barbecue rub.
Interesting.
And then the pulled pork in there and mix it up, and then create an outside crust of it with egg, a little bit of flour, egg, and breadcrumbs, and then deep fried. With the shape of and I put some cheese in between, just because.
Of course you did. You got to be freaking kidding me. Have you ever heard of Japanese tonkatsu?
No.
It is the idea of the standard breading procedure on the outside of a thinly pounded pork cutlet. So it's not got the low and slow, which you made your pork tender by cooking it low and slow. This would be on the opposite end of tenderizing, which is mechanically tenderizing with pounding. and then frying that cutlet. And I love that texture, so I can only assume that with the addition of low and slow to it, this might blow tonkatsu out of the water. Picture making a mock patty of pulled pork and putting a little flour on the outside, getting it super cold, almost frozen, and then putting it through your standard breading procedure and cooking it on a soapstone or frying it in a pan and making a fried pulled pork burger. Bro. I can't tell if you're loving it or you're hating it.
Good. Oh, yeah. But I'm loving it. I'm loving it already. It sounds really, really good.
Let me introduce you to what I'm going to throw on the grill today. This is a... oh, look at this baby. So those of you who can't see or listen on Spotify, this is a big old 3-pound chuck roast. A prime 3-pound chuck roast. And it's just absolutely gorgeous. The fat content on there is to die for. This is incredible. This is coming to us from Kansas, E3 Meats. It's still frozen. I've got the grill on low and slow. I want to slice this baby up. I'm going to do this PITMASTERX style where I'm not going to season it first, even though that really hurts my feelings. I've got the grill running direct at 350. I've banked all the coals to one side. And I'm going to open this up out of the package and just throw it on. I got some folks coming over to look at my outdoor kitchen space here in a little bit. So I'm going to hopefully have this ready for them. Chef, am I cooking this it's a chuck roast. Am I cooking this to a rare, medium rare, or do I want to take this to the point where it's falling apart as if it were a low and slow item, 4 hours? What do you think?
No, I'm definitely not. I did the test with chuck roast, low and slow, or cook it like a steak.
Yep.
And with that amount of marbling,
that's crazy.
You can cook it like you can cook it like a steak easily. And if it's too thick, you can always cut it half the thickness afterwards.
It's frozen.
When you serve it up.
Look at that.
Yeah, but hit it, knock it, let people hear.
It's on, bro. It's on.
Oh.
I just put it on.
But seriously, you're searing it first, right?
I got it 350. I'm kind of direct low and slow in it.
Oh. Normally with a frozen one, you sear it first. Because that's the magic of grilling a frozen steak.
Well, here's what I'm going to do then. I'm going to leave the lid open. I'm going to bank the charcoal back underneath it and see if we can get a slow sear going. See if I can still build up some of that caramelization. Frozen. I've never put a frozen piece of meat on a grill in my entire life. I don't know. I'm kind of weirded out by this. And now that I hear you say, "Oh, it should have been screaming hot," I really don't know. I don't want to mess this up, but I have a feeling by playing around with this, we're going to find a sweet spot, and it's going to be incredible no matter what. And if for some reason I slice into it and I'm not keen on it, I'm going to wrap it up and I'm going to put it back on low and slow and do it till I can pull it.
That's it.
You know.
So
you worst
can't
case,
screw this up. Yeah, you can't screw up a chuck roast. Well, you can, but you can't.
I was gonna say if anybody could, it'd be me. Yeah. So, bro, it's been all.
You can't. You can't.
No. So, like I mentioned, we have we got a big storm off the coast here. Lots of bands of rain. I get raining on. Took my daughter for her first 5K run with me this morning. Got soaking drenched. Saw a couple snakes, ton of deer, fallen oak trees. We went to a bamboo forest and cut down 30-foot tall bamboo and cut into 8-foot sections and lashed a ninja course that they've been running. It's been crazy. And then, of course, pulling stuff off the barbecue the whole time. Still quarantined here in North Carolina. I'm living my best life, man, and writing recipes left and right. I just wrote a recipe for a holiday coming up, talking about side dishes. Okay, and side dishes are one of my favorite things. I swear they are the unsung hero of any barbecue party. I want to drop this in your ear, PITMASTERX. Grilled goose fat and crunchy bacon potato salad. Drop the frickin' mic.
Oh, yeah. If we ever hosted a barbecue competition, it will probably be the side dish barbecue competition.
Yeah. Because a side dish should never be treated like a side dish. That's a Gephardt quote there. No. I find that when I go to a potluck dinner, and I know you guys, in the UK, and I don't think in the Netherlands, you guys think about potluck like we do. Here in the South, it's a lifestyle. Okay, you invite your entire neighborhood. It's not happening during quarantine right now, or traditionally your church, and everybody brings a dish, and they put it on the table, and something happens, everybody's hanging out, and then all of a sudden it's time to eat. Kids are called, all the lids are taken off, and it's a buffet, and it starts two-sided buffet, different items, completely mixed-matched china and big spoons, and just you never know what you're going to get. But I find in the South that there's just such an array of incredible flavors, and rarely do you see something done twice. And if you're showing up with some Domino's pizza or Papa John's or KFC fried chicken, you need not apply. Okay, just stop it. Just stop it with that. When you come to a potluck dinner, you cook something. So just cut it out. Whoever's bringing stuff, you getting ribs from the joint down the street. That's some gray area there. But cut it out. Bring in the frickin' fast food or the bag of chips. It don't work. All right. But the side dishes, I will load up. I will pre-scout the entire table and then get my plate and strategically work backwards. Okay, I do this right. And I want the potato salads. I want a couple of those deviled eggs. I want some of Miss Smith's, 80-year-old Miss Smith's pickled vegetables that been sitting in that juice. Oh yeah, baby. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's a sport.
These are the things I want to expose you to when you come visit me in North Carolina when this shit show opens back up. Yeah.
Yeah. But it sounds like more like a sport than like a potluck. Potluck sounds like something. It has a bad name to it, because potluck.
It doesn't. That's what Ben Forte said in the
brings
UK.
A pot, but it's like you hope you get lucky, and if not, you're screwed, and you got to go eat out anyways. But the way you tell it, it's like a super sport, and it's more like the Champions League of food. You got to perform.
It is.
You can't just show up with something that you whipped up.
Bro, your reputation,
you gotta be serious about it.
Your community reputation is riding on the dish that you brought. You don't bring your C game or your D game. I'm seeing some smoke behind me now on this chuck roast.
Yeah, looking good.
You absolutely bring your A game. If I were, and I know you guys don't like the name, but to me, because I grew up with it for such a long time, it is just a magical thing. Hey, babe, can you say hello? Here, come here, say. No, my little one just brought me a string cheese. That's nice piece of processed cheese there. Thanks, big girl. She also did my nails.
That to your potluck.
All right, babe. See ya.
Nice one. Hey, you ready for the lightning round?
Am I ready for the lightning round? I think so. I brought my sweatband just in case I need to wipe my brow here.
Here we go. Ready or not?
Wait.
Picanha or tri-tip?
Tri-tip.
Wood or charcoal?
Charcoal.
Electric fire starter or chemical fire starter?
Electric.
Gordon Ramsay or Jamie Oliver?
Gordon Ramsay.
Michelin star or beach bar?
Beach bar.
Smoked pork ribs or brisket?
Ribs.
Backyard steak or SCA competition steak?
A backyard, 100 times over.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs, 1,000%. You threw me some softballs there. This damn earpiece. You threw me some softballs there, bro.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. The Michelin star and beach bar is kind of like an interesting question, because the question is which one would you, if you get to go somewhere right now, where would you rather go? Like a Michelin star restaurant and eat like the super luxurious food, which costs you €450 a plate.
Yeah.
or just hang out at a beach bar, get like the daily spread, and with your feet in the sand, kids playing.
Bro, that's not a tough one to me. I think, and it is. I am a product of my time right now, and I think you'd say the same. And I bet if we asked our fired up barbecue nation watching right now, 99% of them wouldn't go for Michelin star. These folks are cooking Michelin star stuff at home right now. You know, if you put your best dish, your best foot forward to Michelin star restaurant, and they were able to pair it up with a nice garnish and a nice sauce and a side vegetable to put on a plate, it'd still be what you're doing at home that would be the rock star on that plate, right? So I think for me, like kicking back, turning off the frickin' phone and chilling at the beach bar. Plus you said beach, like I got the ocean now. I mean, there's no, you could have said Michelin star on the beach and I still would have picked beach bar. 100%.
You should have
you
should have a t-shirt. You should have a t-shirt that says, if I see water, I'm getting in it.
You saw Luke Rutz freaking dump me into bull shark infested waters. Did you see that? He took me up in
What?
Oh yeah, Luke Rutz. You know, unbelievable barbecuer, equally talented photographer and fisherman. I'm in Australia. He's got me out. He's taking me into Blackwater, and we're fishing for kingfish. You know, it's terrible weather, which I love. You know, we caught some flatheads, which is a cool fish, really tasty. And he puts me on the bow of the boat, and then he tells his buddy to knock it into reverse really quick after telling me that this is where we bring all the tourists to feed the bull sharks. And I freaking go boom, slam into the freaking water with rod and reel in hand. You know, unbelievable. If there's water, I'm going in it. And chances are, if we're in France, you're going in with me.
I got an audience question here. Let's see if we can.
Also, I got to flip the
stick. I think
steak.
you're gonna love this one. Of course, my computer just decided to not
I'm
do
getting
it.
some caramelization here, like crazy caramelization on this frozen chuck steak. I've never done anything like this.
Here we go. Gabben Verstraeten. There we go.
Hi, Chef Eric and PITMASTERX. Really enjoying those shows. The podcasts are just phenomenal. Looks like you guys have a great time, and so do we, by the way. Really enjoying them. They're also very educational. Wanted to have your opinion about dry aging steaks, right? Everybody knows about dry aging those subprimals and all that kind of good stuff. But what else would you dry age and what not? Anyways, thank you and really enjoying those shows. Keep them up, guys.
First off, Herben, thanks for the kind words about the podcast, and miss you, buddy. I've seen Herben all over the place, man. He comes to all the parties in Atlanta, and just a great barbecue and great person. I do like dry age. I ran now this is another time in my life where I might have been a little bit more wild than I am right now. I was living down in Naples, Florida. I was engaged to a gal down there, and crazy stuff was going on. Okay, this is my prime in the restaurants, and I was running a dry age steakhouse in Naples, Florida, and I just absolutely loved the dry age process. Okay, it's very cool. You are using whole strip loins, whole ribeyes. There you go, big girl. Having a lot of fun with it, but I found recently I've fallen into. And I dry age here at home in my steak locker. I'm dry aging whole fish. You're losing. You can control how much moisture loss that you're going to lose, and you can up the umami flavor 10-fold, 20-fold, 30-fold. Aged fish doesn't taste fishy. It's got a different, firmer texture, and it smells of salt and ice. I really, really love it. You're not going for the same thing when you do seafood. You're going for moisture loss versus letting the bacteria naturally enhance the flavor and texture of the meat. But I like to dry age whole fish, salmon especially. If that does that answer the question, or did I kind of dance around it a little bit?
Yeah, I think so. No, but I really enjoy dry aging as well, and I think that the cool thing about dry aging is that it's not just dry aging a steak. That is not the art of dry aging. It's just one part of it.
All right, where were we? Hey, this chuck roast is
right.
looking. This chuck roast is looking proper. I
You got
still.
a good caramelization.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh yeah,
It's good.
Yeah, looking good.
Yeah. So I'm still gonna take that to a medium rare. I think. You know.
Yeah, do it. Why not?
I'll do what I want to
think
do.
you should.
Tell me. Whoa. Don't tell me. Don't tell me how to
Don't
live
tell
my.
me how to live my life.
Hey, that's my line. That's my line.
Yeah, I'm jalapeno face.
Oh my.
That's what I do.
Oh. I mean.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I got a serious thing that I want to discuss with you. Here's like my future plan to save the world. Are you ready for this?
I don't know if I'm ready for you, PITMASTERX's future plan to save the world. But go ahead. Go ahead.
What if I was looking at a video and I not have been looking at that video because it told me about the statistic of the amount of bad gases cows produce.
Spit it out.
It was like mind blowing. It was a lot. It was a mind blowing amount of how do you say greenhouse gases that they produce. And then compared to the statistics of the amount of greenhouse gases that pork produces, it was like the super ultimate no-brainer to stop eating beef and start eating pork. So here's my solution for 2020 to save the world. Eat pork.
So for all of our ranchers right now watching, our beef ranchers, do not be mad at PITMASTERX. Don't be mad at him. You know, So I'm
It's
into
a
the
solution. I'm just making a suggestion.
So it's like those terrible Chick-fil-A ads, and you're saying eat more pork to save the environment. I mean, I've got some opinions on this. You know what I mean? That obviously the burning of fossil fuels for energy far outweighs any agriculture greenhouse gas production, right? We can obviously say that, right? And I know the studies because this is a hot button issue for me. They say 64% of the greenhouse emissions come from burning of fossil fuels for energy. Okay, the next bit is the next highest bit, I bet, is deforestation, and that's still under 20%. Your agriculture production worldwide, that's pork, cow, everything, is probably around 10%, at the highest 13%. So it is a percentage. And I think you can chalk up some of the deforestation to it too, right? You hear about people clearing out forest in the rainforest for cattle production, but bro, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, but it was food wise. It's like in the things that we can influence, you and me, food wise.
Right.
It's that, like that suggestion, because the problem with the cows is that they eat grass. Maybe I shouldn't be watching the crap on YouTube that you see these days.
There's a lot of crap on YouTube.
But what they were saying is like the cows. The reason that and for sheep it's the same thing. But the reason that they are producing so much more than any other animal is that they eat the hard to digest food. They eat grasses and plants, and they're so hard to digest that they produce an incredible amount of methane. And 95% of the methane comes by burping and 5% by farting. And see how I watch all of these intelligent videos about burping and.
I'm listening. I'm truly interested.
Yeah.
In this
I'm trying to ignore you.
Good
I'm
luck.
watching Eric on screen.
Using my shun to stir my drink.
Yeah. No. I was looking at this. Must be number 4.
Number two.
Number 2. Oh, okay.
Well, you know, think about this, PITMASTERX. Would you say that it's easier to raise soybeans or easier to raise pigs?
What? Sorry, one more time.
Soybeans or pigs? Which one's easier to probably produce and raise?
I don't know.
freaking soybeans, bro. So much easier. Okay, so much easier. So I would argue that there's more deforestation going on, and I've read these statistics due to soybean propagation in the Amazon, which leads to higher amounts of greenhouse gases than all the cows on Earth. Okay, so here's where you could argue that eating meat is actually healthier for the Earth. No, stop. Here, I'm making my point. This is the culmination of all my gibberish. Here's my point. There's a possibility. There's a possibility that you're actually doing greater good to eat pork and cow, to eat animals, than to be a vegetarian and eat soybean, due to the amount of deforestation caused by both adding to greenhouse gases. Boom.
Yeah, but do you know who the largest soybean producer in the world is?
Oh, it's probably the Netherlands.
North America.
No.
No. We're the largest pork producer in the world.
Yeah, I know that.
In the Netherlands. That's why I'm suggesting pork.
You just got sponsored, didn't you? I see what's going on here.
But the most of the deforestation, and because it was also in the statistics, comes from the coffee plantations.
Yes, that's a big one.
And this is where I got worried, because I can't do without coffee. I really enjoy my coffee.
Yeah, you got that nice coffee machine. Yeah.
Oh man, and the beans are so. But if I have to let go of coffee, I can. But would you? I love pork a lot. I really do it with the sucredo, and if there would be no beef, would it be a problem? Would I survive? Would I still love the barbecue? I think so. I think I still enjoy it.
I think you're out of your mind. I think you would frickin' miss the beef so much. You're a frickin' barbecue guy, and I know you. Listen, you and I come from porkopolises, right? North Carolina is a powerhouse in pork. The Netherlands as a whole, especially where you live, wild boar and farm-raised pork. I can remember going to a pork farm and going pork fishing with you. Where was that? It wasn't Belgium, was it? Maybe it was the Netherlands?
Yeah, it was in the Netherlands. Yes.
Yeah. And you and that guy, he was a whack job, but he literally was changing the frickin' world. And you're like, I need to be the guy on camera with this guy. Like, I'm totally dialed into what he's saying, blah blah. I was like, whatever. I'm going pork fishing, and it was fascinating. You would be a nightmare without beef. I'm just saying that. With both of us being pork guys, we still, like, I got a big old chuck roast on right now. This stuff is fantastic.
Yeah, it's true.
And I could be a pest.
But otherwise, if we can't bring up these topics, what are we talking about?
Hey, I'm about it. I'm you know what? I want to bring up some cold hard facts, and I'd like to bring in some experts that could talk to us a little bit about it, and possibly maybe a roundtable discussion.
Hey, dude. Hey. What? Where are you going to get experts from? So there's always in this industry, people are always have like seriously, always people have an agenda.
Yeah.
Either they're pro environment, or they're pro beef industry, or pro pork industry. There's always some hidden agenda going on. You and me, we're pro meat.
I'm pro meat, but not with an agenda. Like, listen to you.
But
what has happened to you during this quarantine? Are
you
you a conspiracy?
Of all of them.
Are you a conspiracy guy now? Are you like you've
you're
moved?
So worried
that let me call the ambulance.
Soybean burgers.
Oh, jeez. Hey, do me a favor. Send me another copy of Catcher on the Rye, freaking creepo. You know what? You've moved out there with the barbecue barn, and like I'm starting to think you're gonna start inviting people out, and it's a commune and kind of a cult thing going on. Oh boy, PITMASTERX Nation, I'm watching you guys. I got my eye on you.
See, the thing is like. I'm so worried about all these beans dropping in between the grow grades, but you're not worried about that.
The what?
Because you're using that soapstone.
Beans?
The soybeans. I'm worried that they're dropping in between the grow grades, but you're not.
Would you grow them in the husk and then just pop them out? They get all that grilled flavor from the semi-permeable membrane of the shell.
They're in the husk. I don't even know about that. I've never seen a soybean in my life.
Sure you have. You've had edamame at a Japanese restaurant. That's soybean. Same thing. Same exact thing. It's like garbanzo bean and chickpea.
Yeah,
Same thing.
but not the actual
the
thing.
bean.
Not the.
When you get edamame at a restaurant and it's got 2 or 3 beans in it, it's this green husk.
Yeah.
That's it. That's soybean.
Yeah, but
that's soybean. Period.
But I went to that restaurant and I saw that picture. I was like, no.
Oh,
Nuh-uh.
why not? I don't get it. It's great. I eat it. I eat it.
Out of. Yeah, but out of all of the things that you can choose from, why pick that?
Probably because it's like freaking celery and you're burning more calories than it takes because to digest it because of the fiber content than you're actually getting. It's like working out by eating that. My kids love it. Hey, if there's a healthy snack I can give them and it's...
Your kids don't love it.
Bro, my kids crush edamame. I've got bags and freaking bags of crushed edamame. You don't know what you're talking about. Don't tell me how to live my life. You come in here saying I don't know about soybeans and like deforestation and methane gas coming from cows. You're freaking me out. You have been by yourself too long on the farm. I'm a little worried. I'm concerned for you,
That's true.
and I'm
That's true.
calling you out on
That's
the
true.
internet.
I gotta admit, yeah, we gotta get over this whole Corona thing. I need to go out.
Yeah, you need to get out. Hey, what are you doing? Are you working out at all? Are you running or like doing something that's just for you? Filming.
I'm building a barn.
Oh,
No, I don't have anything just for me.
You need to do
This
something
is the
just for
podcast
you.
just for me.
And everybody watching, do something just for you. Just for you. Be selfish.
This is it. This is it. This is it.
But me and you hanging out, that's a nightmare.
Yeah.
You're ridiculous.
It's my this is my moment of fun. This is like
This is
I
not
enjoyed
fun.
So much
This
to
is-
rattle your cage.
Listen,
to get you all freaked out.
rattle my cage. Good luck with that, sweetheart. Not a chance. Not a chance. Hey, I want to show you this again.
Well,
So I need your help. What do I
help?
What do I
You're
do
not
with it?
getting anything from me. Talk about that meat while I flip on the light switch.
So yeah, you need to turn on the freaking lights. All right. I got this frozen freaking chuck steak. What the hell do I do with it? Right. This is an E3 meat. Absolutely gorgeous. But PITMASTERX has got me freaking grilling frozen meat. Okay, he's back now. Don't talk about him anymore. Oh, hey, PITMASTERX. So I got this big old. I feel like it's still freaking cold in the center. What's supposed to do with that? Like I'm good on the char. I can't do my normal. I'm not a thermometer guy. I haven't used a freaking thermometer in 15 years. I can look at a steak, no matter how thick it is, throw it on. If I built the fire, I know where the hot spots are, and automatically I'm like, that steak's at freaking 123 degrees Fahrenheit without even touching it. This?
Yes.
I've got no.
In
I've got.
my personal opinion, you're always off. You're always off.
Talking to me?
By at least, yes, you. At least by 2 to 4 degrees, always.
2 degrees Fahrenheit. 2 to 4 degrees Fahrenheit. You're out of your mind. I will.
I tested you.
And I was
may not
spot
remember
on.
this,
I was spot on.
And I put the probe in, and you were off by 4 degrees Celsius.
Oh, yeah,
And it
yeah.
happens to you
I was,
all the time.
listen, everybody, fired up nation, listen up. I am fired up. I got a bone to pick. Let's do some house cleaning here. If you're
Let's
gonna,
get fired up,
if you're gonna test me and call me out on a steak that I was 4 degrees off on, and I was feeding 3,000 people that day, and we're talking about one steak, you know what you can do. You can take that comment and freaking cut it. Actually, no, don't cut it. Put it in there, and I want everybody to hear. 3,000 people. You're like that crazy lady that was like, oh, I need to blah, 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 blah. Remember the crazy lady in Germany that was trying to reach in and get the steak and always like rides my ass about everything and like, I'm giving away free food here. It's like the best food you're ever going to have.
It's your German girlfriend.
Yeah. Bring Jenny along. She can freaking teach her a thing or two. The old 1-2.
You should bring Jenny along. I've been telling you that for ages.
Listen, Germany.
Bring her over here to Europe. We're gonna go to Croatia. Not gonna go to Germany. Come on.
I listen. My
Don't
last
bring
name's
to the
Gephardt.
Netherlands.
My last name's Gephardt. I really love Germany. If there's somebody who's freaking knocking it out of the park right now, there's 2 places I'm watching like a freaking hawk. Australia and Germany. What I don't like about Germany, is the barbecue competitions, and they drop down the walls so people can't see what's going on. It's so antisocial,
Yeah.
and I
What's
don't.
up with that?
I don't like it. I don't
Yeah.
like it. I don't. Nobody's
I don't like it
stealing your
either.
secrets. Who cares? It's freaking barbecue. You're supposed to share those secrets.
That's true.
And I
That's
know.
true.
I know it's.
That's
Yeah. Go ahead. I have a thing.
Yeah.
I have a thing. I can
yeah. Don't. Let's just say no more walls. Take down the wall.
Hey.
It used to be a thing. Now it's not.
That's
German people should know about that.
That's right. Yeah. I think it's different.
It's a sensitive topic. Let's not go there.
I think it might
It's a
be a
sensitive
little
topic.
different. I think it might be a little different in Germany or in Europe in general because the freaking borders are so close, right? And they've been redrawn, and I think about the Treaty of Versailles and the end of World War II, and like all these places mismatched together. And this is recent history as far as barbecue goes. But I find it compelling that in Germany, it is not just German barbecue teams. There's the guys from
No,
Italy.
definitely not.
Remember the Italian guys?
Yeah.
Freaking hilarious. Those dudes did not have freaking walls up, right? They're just giving hugs. They're giving hugs for hugs' sakes. So you got the Italians there. You got some Croatians like sneaking in over
See
here.
how
You
funny
got the
that is in
Germans. So
Corona time.
huh?
See how funny that is in Corona time. That's the reason why they were the biggest problem in Europe. They are hugging everybody.
Oh, you talking about the
They're
Italians?
just walking into the street. Yeah, they're hugging everybody. They're just having fun. They're partying all the time.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
Yeah. They're the fanny.
They're good at it.
And
So
they wear
when-
the fanny packs.
So Corona was
They're sneaking Corona around in the fanny pack.
No. You got the fanny pack. You got the fanny pack from the German people.
Oh, were they were Germans?
Yes,
Bro, I'd had one too many. I was speaking Italian to the Germans, wearing the fanny pack. I thought, and it was an East pack, so I thought I was like a hooligan.
You thought you were speaking Italian.
Yes. Anyway, so all good things. Yeah. Okay. So those of you who just missed the beginning of the podcast, we did the lightning round. I have got people sending me DMs to ask for me to ask you questions, and I wanted to stop. Enough. Cut it out. Dave Coulier, cut it out. Okay, but PITMASTERX, I got people asking me, and they want to know, are you ready?
I am.
All right. This comes from, and I don't know why it's always the ladies that want to know stuff from PITMASTERX. Charlene from New Mexico wants to know what your favorite kind of cheese is. She's seen you watch. Let me read. I've seen you. This is not coming from me. This is coming from Charlene. Okay. PITMASTERX, absolutely love your YouTube channel. I've seen you use several different types of melty cheeses. What's your favorite type of semi-soft cheese to cook with?
Young Gouda, or no, Young Beemster cheese. Okay, hold on, pause. I gotta take 5 seconds. The cat is destroying the door. But when I get back,
Hey, go ahead.
I'm
That's
gonna-
fine. I can carry this.
is a
I can carry this
great
on. I can
question.
carry this on by myself.
I love that question.
See, PITMASTERX doesn't actually have an
Fantastic
answer.
question.
He doesn't even
Hang in
actually
there.
have an
Hang
answer.
in
No. Go check out your cat. So PITMASTERX doesn't actually have an answer here. What he's doing is he's going. Some chefs have a second phone, and when they can pop off, they Google things where they don't know about, and he's going to come out. Watch you come out. He'll say like Port Salut because that's my favorite semi-soft cheese. So if you're listening in New Mexico, Port Salut is absolutely fantastic. No matter what PITMASTERX comes back and says, he's not fighting with his cat or whatever he's talking about. Maybe he's got one of those big Maine Coons or something. I don't care. But he doesn't know what he's about to say. He's freaking out because I hit him with a lightning round question. He's about to put his earphones in back now. 3, 2, 1. And I just can't wait to hear what PITMASTERX has got to say. He is a cheese expert. Hey, brother. What's happening? So again, to recap the question, I've seen you, and this is not coming from me, Charlene. What is your favorite semi-soft cheese to cook with, PITMASTERX?
Young Beemster cheese. In the Netherlands, we got young cheeses, and we got the older the cheeses get, the more heavy they are in flavor. But we got these regions where they have their own flavor profile with cheeses. And this is really important if you're in the Netherlands, because some people like really soft cheeses with a mild flavor. Some people like it a little bit spicy, and I don't mean spicy pepper-wise, but I mean, well, there's kind of like, how do you describe that? It's spicy, but it's not spicy.
It's almost tannic, right? It dries that, pulls so much moisture off of your tongue. It feels peppery.
Yeah, but then with a young cheese. And I think the Beemster is one of the Dutch cheeses that is really, really perfect in that sense. Where if you use it as a melting cheese to cook with, it's perfect. It's got flavor. It's got a little bit of that spiciness. It's got everything. But the most important part is that once you cook it, you can still taste it. And that's something that I strongly believe in. If you select your cheese for cooking, if it melts and you don't taste it afterwards and it's just giving you that creamy effect, you don't have to add it. You just don't add it. You want to be able to taste it afterwards. And that's and I think Beemster is one of the best Dutch cheeses that does that. And we use a lot of Gouda cheese, but Beemster is
it
in my
Gouda?
opinion, a little bit better.
Is this supposed to be Gouda? Gouda cheese?
Yes.
Gouda? But everybody,
Yeah,
we call it
Gouda.
Gouda. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that
you
is
call
great.
it Gouda.
That's a fantastic point. I find that Fontina cheese doesn't bring the flavor profile that you're talking about. It provides the creaminess, but Fontina, unless it's aged and it's firm, when it's at a semi-soft state, I'm not getting the punch.
Yeah, that's important. Now, and since we're getting on the topic, it's quite interesting because in the Netherlands we do not specifically understand American cheeses. Not every American cheese. No, but there's like a different. There's like a factory produced cheese. That's not really cheese.
Yeah.
Seriously, we don't get it. So help us explain. Explain it to us. How does that work?
Listen,
give up?
I'm a little embarrassed for myself and my countrymen. This is a time that I might claim to be a Canadian from North America. Yeah, I think. So there's take cheddar for instance, right? We've got a pretty big population, bro. And we love cheeses, but we don't like to pay for imported prices. So if what you love about real cheddar cheese is the fact that it was the morning press, okay? It was the first press off the frickin' teat. Psh, 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 psh. That cow is eating the hay. There's a fat content and a coloration that rises that is reddish or orange from that. And so the beauty of a cheddar cheese was that it was the first squeeze, and you could tell that endemic color and that hay flavor really pronounced. And so companies start to say, how do we mass produce this? And all of a sudden they say, well, we can match the color just fine. Let's add a little annatto in there, right? Or achiote, and boom, all of a sudden we got the color of cheddar cheese nailed. Once you got that figured out, quality's out the window. We're just producing fresh farmer cheese with color to it and adding chemicals to make it stiffer versus adding salt and age. And it's a race to the bottom from that point. Okay, there's no question about it. And then you start to get into like government programs, bro. And I know you're a conspiracy theorist. Don't bust me up on this. But you get into the projects and to other places, and there's government coupons that they hand out, and then all of a sudden cheese was a big thing that you could get with these coupons. And so the wrappers are coming up through these projects, and that's how Get That Cheddar became part of the wrapper lexicon, because cheddar was another word for cheese because it was a commodity that you could trade as if it were monetary, right? So as if it were money. So you would have government food stamps to get cheese, but you could also trade food stamps for cigarettes and things that we won't mention. All right, so you got to get that cheddar is just an analogy towards getting things and trading things in a different form of money. And that was a little side note there, but do you understand what I'm saying?
But when like this hasn't been around forever. Was this in the 80s, in the 70s, or
Yeah.
Do you know a little bit about it?
I know a little bit about it. Not enough to speak intelligently, but that's the story of my life. It's like the majority. I haven't.
That's the end of the podcast.
Well, no, I can talk about cooking all day long, but everything else, I'm an ocean of knowledge, but I'm ankle deep. You know, it is. It's nothing but full contact cooking. And when we start talking about stories and restaurants and my actual experiences, bro, like I said, there's still too many people alive to start like throwing stories out there. I'm not name dropping, and I'm not freaking telling on anybody, and I'm not telling on myself. I tell you that right now.
Okay, but tell me, like this is something that happened in the past, because back in the days you were making in America, they were making great cheeses.
And we still do. I think when you look at a micro, when you actually like put a magnifying glass on the country, there's great cheeses being made. But I can't think of a great mass-produced cheese that's made. We don't have cheese banks like they have in Italy, right? Millions of dollars tied up in these big wheels of Parmesan, and you go to Parma, it's incredible. But just down the road from me, and when you come here to North Carolina to shoot guns and make moonshine with me, we're going to go over and see this goat farm where they're actually making incredible styles of cheese. I think the problem with the American market is we're novices in being educated about it, and we're not willing to spend the dough on it. We're not willing to spend the cash on proper cheeses. We like the texture. We like the fat content. We don't know jack about it.
And the markets, basically the market's not there.
I think it is. I think. Well, I mean, I bet
the demand is not there. The demand is not. People, if they understand, they're willing to do it, but the demand is not there right now.
It's $1 billion marketing ploy.
Factory cheeses.
It's $1 billion marketing scheme to get people educated and super interested in it. People love their cheese. Like a cheese board is really interesting.
But I've seen Americans.
Yeah.
But I've seen Americans. They have like molten cheese in a jar.
You talking about
which they use for
you talking about cheese?
The cheesesteak sandwich.
You talking about cheese whiz? Whoa, bro! Do not get started on frickin' Philly, bro. If you start fucking if you start busting up on people in Philly, we're gonna get so much hate mail. My little DMs are gonna blow up, and it is not gonna look nice because people in Philly don't mess around. Mess around. Sports. Look at the Philadelphia Eagles. You don't mess with the Dirty Birds. You don't. Well, I guess that's Atlanta. You don't mess with the Philadelphia Eagles. Philadelphia Flyers. They're like I went to a fight and a hockey game broke out. Like, you don't mess with these people. You know what I mean? Like, Philly cheesesteak is something very specific, and you cannot recreate that without some of the melty cheese. It just don't happen, bro. I will take you personally to Philadelphia, but you cannot sit here and bust America on their cheese.
You're making this about Philadelphia. I was talking about cheese.
You made one little inference that's going to turn into 500 messages for me. I got to nip this in the bud right now.
No. You're not getting off that easy. It's your job. It's your duty to talk about it. What as an American, what is cheese in a jar? Because we cannot buy it here in Europe.
I wish to God. Listen, let me tell you an appetizer. Let me give you a recipe, a very quick recipe using Cheese Whiz, cheese in a jar. Okay, and it's aerosol, right? So it comes out. It's pressurized. You take a rib of celery. Yes. Stop.
Is it in a can?
Yeah, bro.
No. I saw one that's in a jar, and you unscrew the cap and just...
And then pour it out?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's nacho cheese, bro. That's nacho cheese. Hey, you know what a cheese is called that's not yours? Nacho cheese.
Nacho cheese.
Jalapeno face. How about... Nah, so straight up. Yeah. There is a thing called nacho cheese, and it's almost like queso dip in the sense that, like, if I'm going to make a great queso dip, perhaps I'm starting with a roux, perhaps I'm starting with a reduced cream, and then I'm tempering it in, and I'm getting the right viscosity, I'm holding it to a temperature. All right, science, American science has dictated This isn't necessary. We can put a chemical in there that can keep it at a lucid viscosity that you could paint if you want to, whether it is in the refrigerator or it is, 40 degrees Celsius outside. It is still going to be runny. And you think about, like, bro, we got to go to a baseball game together. So when you go to like a Durham Bulls game, which is like 10 minutes away from my house, AAA baseball, you're getting freaking nachos and you're getting these round freaking tortillas, and they're taking a ladle and they're dipping it in the liquid cheese, and they're boop, 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 pouring it all over top, and then you're just sitting there eating it, and like the trans fats are through the roof. Bro, it has got such an addictive, it's the crack. It's cheese crack. It's freaking cheese crack. And that's the name of this episode, cheese crack.
Yeah. But it's like a mafia thing. It's like drug lords, but then the cheese lords. It's like the cheese lords.
Who's the cheese lords?
You got the whole... Yeah, it's like warlords, and you got drug lords, and you got cheese lords.
Cheese lords.
American cheese lords take over the world by creating like crazy cheese things. Well, you in the beginning of this episode, let me get back to it. You got handed a stringy cheese.
All right, I'm gonna. Yeah.
Hey.
Let's see. Let's take a look at exactly what this packaging.
Who comes up with that?
Let's see what the packaging says.
What?
Okay, first of all, it's called Organic Valley. Is the name of the company, just so they can get the word organic in there, because it's not. So they had to make the name of the farm Organic Valley. It says, oh my gosh, corn is like candy for cow. Too much gives them a bellyache. What does that even mean?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's what it says.
It's not true.
Straight up. Like, corn is candy for a cow. Too much gives them a bellyache. That's all it says. That leads me to believe. Listen, that leads me to believe that this is not coming from America, because nobody would write that nonsense that means absolutely nothing that understood the English language. I'll tell you, I think it's coming from China, and I'll tell you why. They're so smart.
Yes, sir.
They're so freaking bro. They're so smart over there.
Open it. What are you doing? Why throw it away?
You're gonna make me open that string shit, but nobody can see anyway. Nobody's watching on YouTube. Okay, so here's
nobody's watching this anyway.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Let me tell you how insidious this gets, right? So the next commodity we can all agree isn't going to be oil. It isn't going to be gold for sure. It's going to be water, right? The whole world's going to be fighting for water, and that's what it's going to all be about.
Cheese.
Well, the freaking Chinese, huh? What do you say?
Cheese.
There's cheese. So the Japanese market, traditionally in Japanese culture, you do not see a lot of dairy in their diet, okay? But it is increasing at a rapid rate. And so what they've started doing is, instead of buying water, they understand how many gallons of water it takes to create a gallon of milk, and how many gallons of milk it creates to create a good cheese. And so they've started just straight up, instead of raising dairy cows of their own and producing the milk, bro, they order millions and millions and millions of gallons of milk from the United States, so they don't have to F with the amount of the astronomical amount of water that it takes to feed these cows and to graze these cows and to bring them up, the dairy cows, and to have them have enough water. So instead of buying water to produce milk to sell cheese, they're going straight for the A game and saying, let us just buy your milk, and we're freaking losing out on all that water. I mean, it's crazy. It is tankers and tankers and ship tankers full of milk.
And you talk about that I like conspiracy theories. This sounds like a conspiracy theory to me. This is so typical American. Hey, we got a problem. Let's blame the Chinese.
Oh, wow.
Dude. Are you eating that stringy cheese now?
It's so good. It's so good. Like, it's so good. I'm not even messing around with it. Look at string cheese. If you didn't grow up on string cheese, they got skim milk string cheese and whole milk string cheese. It's so freaking good.
How is that even possible? How is that even possible that cheese is stringy?
It's like a mozzarella,
It's not possible.
It's like a mozzarella. It comes from organic farms.
It's not like mozzarella. It's not. Yeah, it's not the same.
I'd like
It's
to thank
completely
our
different.
sponsor, Organic Farms, for this wonderful
Yeah.
episode today. I mean, I'm gonna eat the whole thing.
I wish we.
You wish I what? You wish I
I
would
don't
share?
think anybody's. No. This is the first time that I'm not hungry after the episode. Normally, I get really hangry at the end of the episode because you got some good things going on. But this time, seeing you eat that stringy cheese, I'm not that excited.
Look at that.
No. Yeah, but I'm going all.
You're a cheese guy now.
I'm going. No. I'm a pork guy now.
You're
I'm gonna
just a
eat
poor
pork
guy.
for 1 month.
You're just a poor guy. Well, I'm still excited to find out about fun and exciting types of beef and new cuts. You know, I want to do unique things with cuts of beef. I'm sick and tired of bacon wrap fillets. That's garbage. If you have to wrap
Bife?
something in bacon, it's,
I got. I got 3 words for you. 3 words. Bife de cheddar.
say it again.
Bife de cheddar.
Beefing the cheddar.
No. Bife de cheddar. It's a South American thing.
Oh, now you piqued my interest.
So I'm recording the video tomorrow, which should be up this week. So when this episode comes out, it should be up. People should be able to see it. Bife de cheddar
Walk us through it.
is basically if you have the strip loin and you got the whole thing, then on the and if you lay down, one part of it has that silver skin. It's not actually called silver skin, right? What's the technical
Elastin.
term for it? Elastin, which is under the fat cap.
Correct.
But only one third of the strip loin is covered with it under the fat cap.
Correct.
So what they do, what the butchers do, they cut it into steaks and take that little part of fat cap off. Take that, what's the name again?
Elastin.
Elastin. Take the elastin off, and then you have the perfect, what they call it, the New York strip, entrecot.
Yep.
No, that's right, elastin.
Yeah.
So 1/3 underneath the fat cap is elastin. So you take that part of the fat cap off, take the elastin off, and then you cut it into steak. That's the way they make. The most butchers do it in the Netherlands. So that's why in the Netherlands an entrecot has only partially the fat cap still on.
Yes.
And the thing is, like in South America, they have this thing called bife de cheddar. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but what they do is they take that fat cap off, take the silver skin off, take the whole part of the whole strip loin, not just one steak, the whole strip loin, and they take that part off, and then you have the section left where there's no what's it called again?
I'm not telling you
Tendon.
freaking again. This is over. Elastin. This is it. This is it.
Elastin.
Elastin.
Yeah, that's so hard to remember.
It's not collagen
Okay,
and
I
elastin.
haven't been
Yellow
drinking.
fat, white fat.
Elastin.
Elastin doesn't break down.
That's
Hey,
right.
what's it called?
So there's
What's
no.
it-
So
what's
now
it
there's
called?
No more elastin. Elastin. I'm gonna be forgetting that, but yeah, I'm gonna write it down. So there's no more elastin left under the fat cap, and what's happening right now then is they're gonna cut it not into steaks, but they're gonna cut it lengthwise throughout the whole cut. So you're
okay.
ending up with like a really long steak. And they take
Now, why the hell would they do that?
2 or 3 of these. I don't know, but I'm going to find out. That's like my mission of tomorrow. I'm going to cut that. I'm going to make bife de cheddar, and I'm going to cut that steak.
Is it?
It's kind of like a cool idea, but
It's a very cool idea. Is it for cutting across the grain when it's done? Does that make sense?
no, I think it's more of not having that elastin underneath in a whole steak, which makes it really tender. And you get like a super cool effect of having a fat cap and at the same time not having the elastin on your steak. I think that's the whole thing that's behind it. But I want to figure it out, so I'm gonna make that. And if you're listening to this podcast right now, you can watch the video on my YouTube channel, PITMASTERX.
How are you not running? How are you?
You can leave this.
Go ahead. How are you not running out of frickin' stuff to do? You come up with this shit, man. Unbelievable. I love it. I love it. You're talking about taking a New York strip, cutting most of the fat cap off, getting rid of some elastin, and then cutting it lengthwise and grilling it up. And you found this in the frickin' some Il Trappa video where they're doing crazy stuff in frickin' Brazil and South America.
No. That's the weird thing. The weird thing is that I found this in my local butcher. He had
the same guy that shot the wild boar and told us to come pick it up.
Yeah.
Tell that dude I said what's up. Oh, boy, his sausage.
It's so freaking amazing. So I never heard of it. So I took it home and I made it, I already ate it. Yeah, and it was freaking awesome. But it wasn't what I wanted. And now I have a really good cut, and I think it's going to be freaking amazing. So, what are you doing?
Well, I was thinking about cutting into this big old chuck roast and just seeing where it's at. I don't need to eat it for a couple more hours. I got guys coming over, and but I'm so curious as to where it's at. And if I don't like it, I'll low and slow it. My daughter got her nose glued to the glass door right now, and she's looking and drooling over this steak. You want to come out?
Cut it.
You want to help cut it? Oh, my gosh. 5-year-old. Just turned 5. All right, here she goes. Come here. Hold this knife. Come on. Waiting on you.
She's holding a deadly weapon. The sharpest knife you can find.
All right.
5 years old. Cutting into a frozen steak.
With a knife pointing directly at me. This is a terrible idea. Okay, you ready, big
Yeah.
girl?
This is a good thing. I don't know if they have this authority in America.
Yeah, it's called Child Protective Law.
Yeah,
it's just sports.
Yeah. Hopefully they're not watching this. This looks like a really, really bad idea. This is the same thing as having her holding a gun and pointing it at you. It's the same thing. Yeah. Don't pull the trigger. Daddy says don't pull the trigger.
PITMASTERX,
what are you?
You're talking so much. I really need to focus right now.
Oh, it's a podcast. I'm sorry.
Okay, let go. Good job.
I will tell people,
big girl.
like, blood is splattering everywhere. Eric just got hit in the shoulder.
No. All right, let's see how we did. Still pretty rare.
Ooh. Yeah.
It's beautiful.
But not bad. Yeah. See how there's no gray area?
You in the gray area. I don't understand what this gray area is. To be honest with you, I'm going to leave it right here.
Yeah,
and then 30 minutes before these boys come over, I'm going to throw it on a 250-degree grill and just warm it up and slice it thin. In fact, I'm going to slice a little bit of this right now just because I've never done a chuck roast from frozen to taste. And I'm going to use those juices that you saw dripping on the board. I'm going to kind of mop it around. No seasoning yet. Just straight up beef. That is the beefiest flavor, bro. The chuck, which is coming from like up here, such a well-worked muscle. Beefy.
Yeah. It's one of my favorite cuts because it has a lot of flavor, but with that crazy amount of intermuscular fat, it's still tender. So you can eat it as a steak. You can do it low and slow. You can throw it in a pot. You can cook it for hours. You can just grill it up. It's fantastic. Mm-hmm. So, on that note, Mr. Eric Gebhardt, what do you think? What a great way to end an episode of the podcast, right?
I'm just excited to hear you tell me it's almost over, and you're not trying to sabotage me with ecological issues, warm cheese, things are going on here. This is straight. You sabotaged me, bro. You came at me. You did some research. You got some smart statistics, and then you came at me and lightning round me and hit me with a bunch of stuff I wasn't prepared for, and I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it.
Dude, that's what you told me to do.
That's not what I told you.
It.
Since when do you start listening to me? Oh, unbelievable.
Hey, I'm not the guy that I'm not the guy that
You're not
says,
the guy.
don't tell me how to live my life.
Don't tell me how to live my life.
I'm not that guy.
Oh, do you want some
I
more?
listen to everybody.
Look here. This one's coming out for more. Yeah.
Be careful now. She's eating that steak.
Oh, before we sign off.
All right, Eric, I just want to thank all of our audience, all of our listeners. Thank you very much for joining us in this amazing podcast. Guys, you are freaking awesome for following us and downloading our podcast. So some of you are working on their barbecue spot, their barbecue hangout, listening to our podcast. Some of you driving their cars, and we have so much fun with you guys. Please keep on sending your questions to us. Just send a DM to Eric or a DM to PITMASTERX on the PITMASTERX page, Facebook page. We love it.
Keep the crazy. All those crazy questions that I'm getting for me to ask PITMASTERX. I know I said stop sending me questions to ask PITMASTERX. Don't do it. I'm rethinking that. I know I contradict myself all the time. That's part of the fun of it. Keep sending me those silly questions to ask PITMASTERX. I frickin' love them, and especially the personal ones. I love it. Oh, does he like long walks on the beach, or does he like to do sunset cliff hikes?
That one was for you, dude.
Yeah, baby. Yeah. This is good
long
stuff.
Walks on the beach. Time to cut it out. It's getting late.
Yep.
Time for bed.
Fired Up Barbecue. Follow it, subscribe it, live it. To all you roast masters out there, I'm going to give you one of these. PITMASTERX, you'll love this.
We even have an Instagram account, so check it out.
There it is.
Oh, it was so sad that nobody can see what you just did.
I'm seeing the number on YouTube. People are watching.
You think about that methane problem with the cows, that they don't fart too much, but they burp too much.
Yeah.
Think about that. It's something to think about for the next week.
Thanks, Chef. Cheers.
Hey. See you guys next week. Until then, doei doei.
Auf Wiedersehen. Doei doei.